It's fine, sweetie.
All right. Hi.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, bien. Welcome to another episode of It Is Fine, sweetie.
It's just fine.
Man, you put some weight on that one, my boy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine. Uh, it's with me and you and you.
Hola.
Hola,
And
¿cómo
me.
estás? Yeah. So, um, okay. So this week, I wanted to talk about. I guess like we could talk about the internet, but I was curious because I saw all the hoopla about the no contact stuff on that was going to be on Oprah's podcast. So I wanted to go check it out myself. So I did that. And when I did that, I thought Oprah stayed pretty neutral. Like, I do think anyway, whatever. She asked a bunch of questions. She did all this stuff.
Can
And
you
then,
expound on what is no contact?
yeah. So the whole point was she was like, I think the way she advertised it is what's triggering people is that like her friend went out to lunch with her daughter. Like her friend went out to lunch with the friend's daughter. And then afterwards, the daughter sent the mom a text message and said, basically, I can't do this anymore. And like, I'm going no contact. And the mom freaks out and was like, I don't think this is my daughter. I don't understand what's going on, and sends the police to do a wellness check. And then the police go and do a wellness check and they come back to the mom and say, no, she just doesn't want to talk to you anymore. And the mom is like, I'm confused. I have no idea, whatever. So that's how Oprah frames like getting people to come watch the show. But then when you get there, she's got like people from over the spectrum. People who have had kids go no contact and now they've reconciled, people who have gone no contact with their parents, people who have gone no contact with all of their family, people who have gone no contact with their kids. Yeah, just the whole spectrum. And so what I did think was interesting, there were like a couple, there was a lot. Like the woman who I really like, who's a family therapist, and she talks a lot about family dynamics, and she was recommended by my therapist, Nidra. What's her last name, Dre?
Nedra, she was also recommended by my therapist, Nedra Twalib, I believe.
Yeah. So she's got a book called Drama Free, and another one that's like Set Boundaries, Find Peace. And
Right.
then she also had the author on from Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. And so I thought it was a good conversation because Oprah kind of like explores it and she's like, it's maybe it's not new, but like the rest of us just kind of had to like tolerate disrespect. Like we just put
Mhm.
up with it. But she was also mentioned like it would be good for some of the people that she encountered throughout her years of work that especially had parents who were physically abusive too. And then they talked about like all the different spectrums of abuse and ways that people can be abused. I thought it was good, and Oprah's asking all these questions, but then like so when I searched it, to get on the algorithm, then what I started getting back was people talking about like how dare Oprah and like she framed it wrong. I got like one group that was like, how dare Oprah because she's the one that she's the reason why all these people are going no contact with their family because she has promoted all these things before and now she's acting surprised. And then there was this other group of people that were like, she's acting surprised and like people shouldn't do it and people should get back with their parents, and she's gone no contact with family members, and so how like the hypocrisy there. So it's like these two groups of people are having like different views of like what Oprah said in the episode, but I was like, I think that probably they didn't watch it, and I think that that's fascinating. Like I guess it's like, people will say like, "Oh, you should comment on something or you should do whatever." And I'm always like, "Oh, I didn't read the whole thing or I don't want to spend time on it." Like Dad had said, "Oh, you should talk about the OU girl." And I was like, "I don't really want to read the essay or like spend a whole lot of time on it." But then like other people like make full commentary on things that they've like have seen. And it's like really fascinating because I was like, I don't understand how you walked away from that episode and thought that. And they're like, well, I haven't listened to it. I haven't actually watched it. They're like, I just saw clips, but like, and I was like, the thing about like, Oprah using her friend's story is to get you there. So if like the only thing you saw was the friend's story, then you might walk away thinking, yeah, okay, Oprah's friends with this woman who's probably a toxic mom, and she's gonna be on the side of the mom. But then there's like this one mom on the actual show who I feel like you can tell is toxic, but Oprah gets kind of close to pushing her to being like, yeah, I think you might know why your daughter doesn't want to fuck with you.
Right.
But like she doesn't do that because it's not that kind of show. And I think like I also think that like the internet has pushed us to like wanting to have interviewers like be really confrontational and like challenge what people are saying. And it really wasn't that kind of show. It was like the kind of show where she's just going to ask probing questions and kind of leave it open so that she doesn't have to pick a side, if that makes sense.
Which is how journalism used to be. And that's why
Right.
Oprah's still like that, because she got out
I-
before everything got really toxic. And
Yeah, that's what I was
do
thinking.
think-
It was old school journalism of some sort.
I think that you hit on like so many things, because yes, I do think that we are caught up in like react culture, right? And so, but we're also caught up in like, we know what rage bait is, but a lot of people still engage in it. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
like, there is no other way to fix it except to just go, oh, okay, I'm enraged. That
You
was rage
got
bait,
me.
and then like get the fuck out of there. So there is
Yeah.
that, but people still engage in it, even like they can't help it. And I think that there's has to be like some sort of switch in our brain where we have to fucking win and we have to make a point. And like rage bait gets you in that loop. Number two.
Yeah.
And number three, and actually there was another interview that Oprah did this week with Professor Galloway that he touches on that. And then number three is, yeah, like we're in this age and have been working towards this for like at least 10 years of everybody just being as nasty as possible because they feel like that is actually doing something. Like they feel like being nice and equivocating, it doesn't move the conversation forward, and they want to do something. And I saw something on Reddit and I thought it was really interesting. It was, they were talking about, I don't know how I get like in my Reddit feed, but sometimes I get like shit from Tennessee. I think it's because I have a VPN. And they're talking about the University of Tennessee or whatever, whatever's in North Chapel or whatever. And they were like, oh, they changed all of the unisex bathroom signs to just say single stall, single person use. And then they put man, woman, and then like handicap. Instead of just saying unisex or all genders. I think it used to say unisex, and they changed it to all genders. And now it's just single use. And so they were like, I can't believe they're doing this. This is blah, blah, blah. They're giving in. And somebody goes, it's just a smart political move. That way you don't even have to talk about it, whatever. And there were so many comments that are like, no, we need to challenge people. We need to get them to admit that, this is wrong, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, number one, that is kind of what got us here. Because you're not going to get everybody to agree with you. You're just not. You can think that that's stupid and bigoted and whatever, and all of that can be true, and they still won't agree with you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I also kind of get like, why should I have to make them comfortable? But I also feel like in public, there should just be like a general level of decorum because we all just need to get through this.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know. I mean, I think to like you were bringing up earlier, like the woman who drove the 3 hours to go confront a man who made comments on her post. And
But do you guys know what the comments were?
yeah,
Nobody knows what the comment.
Oh no, they found them.
Oh,
yeah,
did
they found
Yeah.
him. Hmm.
Okay, elaborate.
There was a special runoff race for a seat in the House of Representatives, the federal House of Representatives in Tennessee, in District 7. And she made a post about that. And of course, somebody a white man was like, we all just have black fatigue. We're so sick of you inward culture and you're all terrible and that's why you want the Dems to win and blah 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 blah. So it's just like blatantly bad and racist, and all she was doing was saying, hey, go vote. And so that's why she rolled up on him.
Yeah, but I guess it just means like people are out there just like saying whatever, like, and so like for the most part, I think people just expect that like nothing's going to happen. They just like throw vitriol, like, so like even for the people who like, again, making comments about Oprah, I think like obviously if Oprah said anything back, then we would all be like, Oprah, you're Oprah, like leave it alone. But at the same time, it's like it is kind of interesting to watch. Just it's like, okay, all these people are having these different views on it, but like again, like even giving Oprah like these emotions that she didn't talk about.
Yeah,
They're like, she's surprised. Yeah, she's surprised that people want to go non-contact, or oh, Oprah is what it was. Other people that were like saying she was making excuses for toxic parents, and so it was like there's all these things that I was like, okay, how can you both be saying the like opposite things? But again, like most people didn't read, and then they're just like they just say whatever. They're like, I want to go no contact with Oprah. I'm like, babe, you already are. You don't talk to her.
Yeah. Oprah don't give a
Like,
fuck about
Oprah
you.
is not in contact with you, babe. Like,
yeah, she
you're the
doesn't know
you're
you.
the obsessed parent in this
Yeah,
scenario.
like, no, she doesn't know you, babe. But yeah, I mean, I just think I was like, I thought that there was going to be like more conversation about the one mom who I was like, oh yeah, I'm sure she's toxic. But instead, I guess I was hoping somebody would like find her, and, like know what the fuck happened. But instead, I just ended up seeing that kind of commentary. So I was
So
like, I think
nobody
that that's
even
the
talked about it.
disappointing, huh?
So they completely just missed the message. Like nobody talked about the
I
message
think
at
so. I
all.
mean, I think there was like even like a couple people, I think like about the mom. So there were like a couple of thoughtful conversations about like therapists talking about how they have talked to parents about cutting their children off, like because like their kids are abusive or, like whatever ends up happening, especially probably like split relationships where the mom is villainized by the dad and then, whatever the kid grows up and it's like you're having to you know, repent for all of that stuff. So there was like therapists that talked about that, but then there was other people who talked about I feel like the only people I saw like go back and forth about like any of the people on the show was the black mom who had cut her 30-year-old son off.
Yeah, but he was like, that was some shit.
It did sound terrible, but then like her question was also terrible. Like, why does everybody like praise people who cut off their parents, but not people who cut off their kid? And I was like, that's the question you want to ask?
Right.
So yeah, so it was like, all right, I'm sure you probably did need to cut him off, but like you did not make yourself look good. But then again, like they probably didn't hire people, like most celebrities we know like have been media trained and have like publicists or whatever. And like these people didn't have anybody to like run things through and be like, oh, should I ask this question? And they go, no.
But it's also like part of the same thing that you're talking about. It's like that self-righteousness. Like,
Yeah.
fuck you, Oprah. And like one of the things that Oprah gets saddled with all the time,
Fuck you, Oprah.
especially now, it's like, oh, we wouldn't have Dr. Oz.
I know. I do feel like
And I'm
that's
like,
why I felt like she had to bring on multiple people because it's like I think she doesn't want to champion anyone again.
right.
Like just in case they are toxic. Like it turns out a few years from now. Like even the guy
like
who
there is no way when she brought Dr. Phil on for the first time that she was like, he's gonna go, that Donald Trump is gonna be Donald Trump, MAGA's gonna exist, and that Dr. Phil's going to be going on ice raids with Christy Nome and filming it.
I mean, like in what alternative universe, if you had had a dream and then woke up and was like, oh my God, I saw Dr. Phil like taking brown people in handcuffs to a jail with this woman with like an enormous amount of plastic surgery, they'd be like,
What are you
Oprah,
talking about?
Yeah.
don't stop doing ketamine.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, like no special K for you. And you'd be like, huh, yeah, you're right. You know? And then like 2025 rolls around and turns out you're right. And it's way worse.
Yeah.
Because it's like, then she's also funneling millions, not just 1 million or 5 million, but millions, tens of millions of dollars to like her friends who just started an LLC for the purpose of grifting money from the government to make one commercial that she shows in all the airports for some reason. Like,
Oh
it's
my God, those
just,
commercials pissed me off. Because you don't,
well,
you
like, I haven't even seen the one where her riding the horse that they spent all the money on, apparently. But like, her face pisses me off. So it really doesn't make much. Yeah.
Are we still
I
talking
feel like
about
in
Oprah?
Burbank.
yeah, I feel like
Oh, no, Christy, no. Yeah.
Oh.
Because
It's
she's
like,
besties
damn.
with Phil. Yeah. No, Oprah's not making commercials to play in the airport, thank God. But I mean, but even if she did, I think that there'd be more like an uproar than there is for Christy, whatever her face is.
there was, I want to bring up this other thing. Because number one, there was, like I said, Professor Galloway was also on Oprah this week. And he has tasked himself with trying to talk about the male loneliness epidemic. And one of the things that he
Mm,
brought up that was new and all of his stuff was talking about rage. He's like, I'm in marketing and we've always known, first it was sex sales and then it was like whatever. And he goes, but then they figured out kind of like a shitty Monsters Inc. that rage was 100 times better than it got you to stick 100 times more than sex.
mhm.
It's like a super drug. And so he was talking about um he's like, it's not that the algorithm is trained to just feed you stuff that you like. It's trained to feed you stuff that enrages you because that'll make you stay in the app more. Like when you're upset and you're rageful, he's like, so these guys are getting this stuff and it's engaging them in rage, and then they give them a solution for their rage. And the solution is, you
Buy my
know,
product.
women should be subjugated.
No.
you know.
Yeah, not just, it's like, it's not just, I think that's the challenge too now, is like, they're not just selling their product, they're selling like getting rid of the 14th Amendment, the 19th Amendment. Like, they're like, yeah, vote in these people, like, so that people don't have
Well,
the right to vote, the right to have babies and stay here.
the
Like,
product is power, right? Like the
yeah,
product is power. These people get to stay in power if the people that vote for them, they can if only when you look at like the voting, if the only people that consistently vote for the people who are currently in charge are white men in large droves. So they don't that's why they don't want women to vote, because they, and especially after Roe was repealed, they started voting a different way. And they're like, oh, that's because women are dumb and you need to subjugate them. They're a bunch of whores. That's why they like it. So you, you know what I mean? Like
Jesus.
the thing that they're selling is their own power. And they're like, you can have power if I have power. You know what I mean? So it's like it used to
they're like,
be
yeah, like
you could
instead
get
of
a
you
sports
like
car.
striving for
Yeah.
power, I think that's like why they want the women to like also be like, oh, I don't really want to work. I would just prefer to be a stay at home wife, you know? And then like again, put that power back in like to finding a relationship.
I also saw this TikTok of this woman and she's like, I don't know why people keep saying that because it just happened to me this week. She has two kids who are like in middle school and she's been a stay-at-home mom since they were babies. And her husband was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. You need to start using your own money. And she's like, I don't fucking have my
Yes.
own money.
Right.
I don't have my own money.
Yeah.
And
And I
like
feel like that's the point. Like Betty Broderick, I think, is like, you know, I know that there's probably a lot of people who don't want to talk about her, but I feel like she's like the face of this movement of like, you know, the women. So Betty
I wonder who
Broderick,
they
yeah. So she in the 90s, I think, was like one of these like really famous divorcees. So it was like before I think California was like a 50-50 state. Her husband, she married her husband and worked while he was in first in med school and then in law school. And then when he came out, he had these dual dual degrees, so that he did a lot of medical malpractice
Mm.
lawsuits. And so he made a shit ton of money. Then he started sleeping. So the goal was she would go work while he was in school, and then they'd be rich for life. But then he, of course, traded her in for a younger version, and she went absolutely fucking crazy. So, like, and he was doing things to like trick her. So it was like she he told her first, she recognized that he was having an affair. He told her that, I'm not having an affair, you're just crazy. And then she started to think she was crazy. Then they were supposed to buy a new house. He let her get movers, do all this whole thing, let her move into the other house. Then he stayed in the old house and said he was leaving her. Then he started like working with the judge to like fine her for every time she like violated court orders and stuff. So it'd be like, I don't even know, like all kinds of stuff. And so like she started owing him money. And again, she wasn't working. She was like maybe gonna lose the house. So eventually, yeah, she went crazy and killed both him and his new wife that he was
Rip.
sleeping with when they were married.
Oh, wow.
So yeah. So it's like pretty famous story. They've done a lot of true crimes about it. And then like, so there's like been all these true crimes about like the whole story and like all this stuff that went down but between them, and like how he used the courts and his influence on the courts to like punish her and like kind of made her crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I don't even have a clue.
yeah, but it's like the premise of the Dear John that like came out, I don't even know, but not too long ago. I guess on the 30th anniversary of it, because she's still in prison. I think she was also on Oprah a long time ago. But yeah, so like anyway, I guess the point is like people push people because they don't think anything's gonna happen. They just
Fuck around and find out, my boy.
yeah, unfortunately, yeah. So anyway, yeah, so I guess like that was kind of, I don't know, I don't even remember how we ended up in that part, but just like the
Oh, because
entitlement
the
and like
black
how
lady
people,
pulled up on the white dude.
yeah, I guess I was
He
just
got ruled
thinking
away,
about like,
yeah.
yeah,
We
it's
should
like
explain that because
oh, okay, but
by
it
the time this
is,
comes out,
oh, I thought which thing? Which,
by the time this podcast come out, like people will have moved on from that. So we should explain the villain you made and how she pulled it.
oh, okay. Yeah, I thought we did a little earlier,
Oh,
but
I
yeah,
guess
but
we did.
she's, yeah, but I think that the whole point is like, I'm not condoning obviously what Betty Broderick did, but it's like you can understand.
Right.
Like she's the villain you can kind of understand, where you're like, I mean, I kind of get it.
I mean, me owing you money is kind of a touch too far, right? Like,
Yeah, it's like it's one thing, it's like, oh, I'm trying to keep her in line. It's like they committed her, they did all this stuff. But I was like, I think that there's like this touch of like wanting to also like dominate her and like make sure she understands that she wasn't, like you're not as pretty, you're not, we're doing better than you. This is, I've made the right choice, that kind of thing. And so it just yeah, it drives people crazy.
yeah,
What else?
yeah, it does. What, Dree?
Let's say what else happened this week.
I mean, I think that's yeah. No, is that not enough?
It was a lot.
Yeah, it's quite a bit. I mean, because yeah, we talked about Pharrell and all that stuff too, right? Like,
What's wrong with Pharrell?
No, we didn't.
well, the first thing he did was he was somewhere and I feel like again, it's like a very old school way of like complaining about DEI and affirmative action. And so he was like, do you want to be hired because you're black, or do you want to be hired because you're the best person to do your job? And people were like, oh, Pharrell, like,
Is Pharrell
you
a
know,
Republican?
yeah, he might as well be. He's like, of course, he's apolitical or something. He like claims he didn't vote, which is bullshit. But so yeah, so then he comes back out after the backlash, and he's like, well, that was just a soundbite, basically, and you should soundbite this. you know, I've worked hard. I came from the gutter. I understand more than you think. And so it's just like this doubling down of like the same bullshit, you know? Like, you know,
Damn, I
so
like
yeah.
Pharrell too.
I know. It's just I mean, I don't know. It's just like I guess it's really hard for people to like stay in touch with like I don't really know, but
Well,
I also think that that's not it's like that's your first thought. I think we talked about that previously too, is like you shouldn't like it's okay to have a bad thought, but like don't let your first thought be your last. And then for him to just like double down and like not take anything from the backlash just to be like, oh, you guys just don't understand and you don't read
yeah, when
is
actually it's him that's not reading. It's like, so we go
right.
full circle back to he didn't do the required reading. He just got clips of what he understands DEI to be and then went off at the mouth and still didn't do the research and is still doubling down. Like, you don't have to be for real level rich to have that same like bad take and be a black person. I feel like especially a lot of older black people are like, yeah, at this point we don't need it because I'm the best and
Yeah,
I'll
like
always get
Thomas,
hired.
Clarence Thomas. He's like, well,
Yeah.
I'm on the Supreme Court and like, you know, like, and we hired, I mean, we elected a black president, so surely we don't need
Actually,
DEI.
that has been, if you go and read Clarence Thomas's biography, he has felt that way since before the affirmative action ever came into play. Like, he has always felt like the most righteous thing that he could do for black people is to not give them any hands up. Like, he went into college, undergrad, feeling that way, that there shouldn't be any special programs, none of that. Like, he's just been like
And then
that
it's
from
just
jump.
like it's sad because it's like then like then he's a Supreme Court justice, so it's like
Yeah.
to him he like he proved it.
Yeah. But
Except for when he was being confirmed and he called it a digital lynching or whatever,
right. But
new
he
age lynching.
also, like, it's not clocking to him that that's exactly why they picked him. Like, they picked him because they knew that he hates black people. So they actually,
Yeah.
you are the DEI. You know what I mean?
Right, like,
You're
bro,
you
you
weren't
yeah,
hired because you were the best justice. You were
yeah,
hired because they could play you like a puppet.
right. I just feel like he probably does some race play games with his wife,
Oh,
You
100%.
allegedly.
think?
Oh
Oh
my
man,
god. Yeah.
they don't have sex.
They
Yeah,
did at
maybe
some
not.
point. And you don't have to have
Clarence
sex
Thomas
to
is
engage.
never.
You don't have to have sex to engage in in race play.
That's
Oh
true.
man, thanks for
Doesn't
those
have to
answers,
culminate.
Stats. Appreciate that.
Okay, so back to can you say the show name for me, Pluribus?
Did it?
Pluribus.
Yeah. I was watching another person on TikTok, a black person, and he said that he made a post about how much he hated the main character and that everyone in his comments that was white was trying to like talk to him about like understanding the character and giving her a chance and how her response was normal, and then all the black people also couldn't stand the character. But then he said that like even the showrunners like in some of the advertisement like advertises her as like the most miserable person on earth,
Yeah.
and then like you know whatever. So it's like it's really interesting how many people can relate to her when she was like already miserable. And I feel like that was the point of the show, is like you not aren't really supposed to like her, but like people are like, I don't know, they really
This
like
is
her
kind of like
character.
Parents
Roman
do.
Empire, and I'm not like a sociologist, so I can't really find the right framework for it.
I'm sure you could, because like we just said, you don't have to be to claim yourself
Yeah.
an expert
I don't know
on
what the
the
right
internet.
framework is for this, and I'm like, I'm not trying to be insensitive, but and especially like in bookish spaces, have noticed like there are people who grew up in really toxic, borderline abusive situations, but it was so pervasive. Like, everybody grew up that way, and especially like around Like remember when we were in school and there was that whole like purity movement? Like people that grew up in those spaces and
With the
like
promise rings.
yeah, and then learning
Yeah.
now about that documentary, Shiny Happy People, and learning about the blanket method and how people that were in the church were raising their kids to basically deny every urge, like natural urge that they had, even going to the bathroom because it's like you have to stay on the blanket because I said stay on the blanket. That's what the blanket method was, and they did that from when they were little. Like, don't crawl off the fucking blanket, like crawling age. You should watch that documentary. So they grew up in this, but everybody else grew up in it too. So they think that everybody in the whole world lived like this, and it was like the same kind of toxicity in all these houses, but they were going to church and they were probably pillars of the community. You know what I mean? And everybody was like, oh, those people love God. And so they felt very righteous and they haven't unpacked what that did to them. And so, like, when they engage with media, they're incapable of seeing like someone who's in a toxic situation or who's miserable because they're like, that's how everybody is. I don't get it. It's like if you never had glasses, like nobody else could see through your eyes. So you would know if you were blind. You know what I mean? Like you know that you're not blind, but you don't know that you have bad eyesight.
Clarence, did you have that story? Don't you have
Yeah,
that story?
absolutely.
Yeah, it was like, that was one of your like origin stories, I think.
Defining moments. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess that's true. It's like you don't know what you don't know, which is why, like, in theory, you would read or you would, like, get exposed to other people and things through art and media and like whatever. And that's why they want to ban all of it so bad.
Right. But that's also I feel like those two things go hand in hand too. They want
Hmm.
it's like that guy again that we talked about last week that's like, I don't want women to dress this way at the gym because I'm trying to fix my lust. They don't want anything that makes them I actually think I saw this about either Heated Rivalry, which just came out this week, or Pluribus, one of the two, and they were like, it was a comment on somebody's video, and it was like, I actually think that nothing that makes anybody uncomfortable should be on TV. And I'm like, then literally nothing would be on TV. There would be nothing in the public if you had to account for everything that made everybody upset. They can't tolerate the little piece of uncomfort, even of everybody else is engaging in this thing and I can't because I don't like it. Like that is that kind of discomfort. I just won't engage with it. They can't even deal with that discomfort because everybody else is doing it. The FOMO. They can't deal with the FOMO.
I mean, what is that entitlement?
I don't know what it
I
is.
think
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know what the framework is. I don't know.
It's
I feel
just
like I ran across
idiocracy,
it at some
man.
point.
Like it
I
just
feel
makes
like,
no
yeah.
sense. Like what happened to just not subscribing to something? Like the grandmas in the 50s going, rock and roll is the devil, but I'll just listen to Frank Sinatra. Like, what the fuck happened?
I know. I don't know, but they can't it like have you not noticed this? Like they can't just turn it off. They have
I
to make it
legit
not
don't pay
exist.
attention to people. Like I just
Yeah.
do what the fuck I'm gonna do, and like you're cool as long as you don't infringe on my space. So like I don't
I mean, even to
comprehend.
the point of like LGBTQ people, they're like they shouldn't exist. That's why they keep saying like you're what is it? You're forcing it on me. You're forcing it into my face, and that like you
I'm
shouldn't be
just
able to do
existing,
that.
dude.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I literally am just wearing shorts. I don't know. Like my house is shorts. I don't know what you're talking about.
Fuck, bro. People are dangerous.
Yes.
Like people are legit dangerous. Like it's getting scary out here. Like, man.
And I think that that's also why like road rage is ticked up because I can't even stomach. You know how like we all joke, and it's been a joke forever that even back when we had Tom Tom, that you wanted to beat the time at the bottom of the Tom Tom. You know
Oh
what I
yeah.
mean? Like you race the TomTom, or you're like on a road trip and that blue sedan, as long as you beat that motherfucker, you win. Like you just have to play games with yourself. People, I think, are starting to get entitled to that game in their head. And that's what's fueling road rage. You're like, how fucking dare you cut me off? I didn't cut you off. I got over. Like that's how
I
traffic
merged.
works. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you
Mm.
do see that where like the dude is doing 50 on the highway, and then as soon as you get in the left lane and you go past him, this motherfucker's doing 80.
Yeah.
Like, I forgot about TomToms, by the way. Thanks. Unlocked a
Do you-
memory for me.
Yeah, I was like, I only remember printing out. Like, remember you'd have to like print out the
MapQuest.
map. Yeah, and then
And
you'd
now
get there and
looking
it'd be
back at
like,
it, I'm
this
like,
road
that
is
was
closed.
that was the
Like,
most
fuck.
dangerous thing. I one time was trying to go to a wedding, and it was at a winery in Guthrie. And I know people don't know what Guthrie is, but it's super country. So it has like it's very natural to have to go down a dirt road that makes it through a wheat field. And I was trying to MapQuest it. And so I printed out the directions, but when you're on country roads in Oklahoma, there's not a lot of signage. I was just fucking driving around.
Or
Like,
light.
I'm gonna die. Like it's gonna get
Yeah.
real delivering.
Yeah, because like, I mean, yeah, it would have been like times 10 all those people like shooting people through their door.
Yeah.
Because like, how many times did you end up in like wrong place?
Yeah.
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 Or like, not too long ago, I had to drop one of my kids off at a slumber party, and this people lived in like a condo, and it was like multiple condos like all in a row. And then it was like it was confusing. So it was like each, because they were like each owned by, I guess, different organizations. So like they would start over. So theoretically we were at the right number, but it was a different
Complex.
complex. Yeah. So we were like, hey, and then they were like, no, who are you? But it's like, luckily they're nice, because a lot of people could have, again, just shot through the door.
Right. And that brings me back to they feel entitled to never have anybody interrupt their day, even on accident. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So why not just stay home?
Well, that is home. And the story I just gave.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
they
But I don't know. I just,
they have to interact with the world in a way that they didn't design. I don't know how
That's got to be entitlement, bro. Like that has to be the word.
It has
for
to be
it.
under
Like
the
that.
umbrella of entitlement for sure. Yes. Like an extreme version of it.
These are the people you're gonna be stuck with during the zombie apocalypse, bro.
No, those people are too stupid to live. They're gonna die pretty early. They're gonna go fight each other. I think that
No.
really, if the zombie apocalypse happened, you just need to lay low and let those people kill each other out. But then
you don't think they can smell you?
you're
They
going
can
to
smell.
get the Nagans. Like
Depends.
you're gonna get the final boss of those people, and it's gonna be Negan, and then you're kind of fucked. So maybe you just need to get out there and start capping knees. Now I think about it, I don't really have a strategy. I don't know.
No, these are the people you're gonna be stuck with, bro. It's just like during The Last of Us, where that really sweet episode where the dudes are gay, and he has the whole town, and he just privatizes it, security and everything. Eventually, somebody's gonna happen across you, and they're gonna infringe on your fucking space. There's no getting away from it, bro. There's a movie called 40 Acres where this black lady is legit just trying to farm and feed her family, and like there's just hordes upon hordes of people that just try to come and take it away from her. Like it's disgusting.
Yeah, agreed.
It's sad,
Yeah.
really.
It really is sad. I mean, yeah. But it was also just interesting because I was like, man, people are like, I don't know, it's like fascinating, but it's like also like I can't like just make myself like not care. That was like, I don't understand. How did you watch the same thing I did? And we have two different views. So like I just need to figure out how to like
Do you remember this, Danielle?
Check
It
it
was
out.
during the 2016 election season, and Hillary Clinton gave like some talk, and like I called you and I was like, you should really listen to this. She was really pissed me off. I don't know why she would say this, blah 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 blah. And like you like hung up and listened to it and called back and you were like, hey, can you go watch exactly that same thing over again? And I was like, no, I don't want to. Why would I do it? It's like over an hour. She's like, you were like, just do it. And then I did, and I was like, "Oh, that was completely different." And you go, "Yeah, like you have this thing where like you're hungry or you're in a bad mood, and then you hear shit wrong." And so I just wanted to know if you had a different experience. I think that moment like changed my life, and I was like, "Oh," because it was like nobody else
Oh, I
could
don't remember
understand
that.
how it processed in my head except for me, and like being forced to have that experience of, oh my god, I projected all of that on her. She didn't say any of that shit.
Poor
Was like
hilarious.
life changing, and I was like, how do I explain? How do I take this feeling out of my head and put it in everybody else's heads? I don't. It
I
was
mean, perspective is a motherfucker, though, dude.
yeah,
But I think that that's like the willingness to do it. You know what I mean? To not
Yeah,
just be
you have to
like,
be
nope, I
open to it.
listened
Yeah.
and I'm over it and I'm done. I mean, like one of our cousins posted this thing today about like, trying to be a better person and how like they replay conversations in their head and then like they have to be honest with themselves about like, how they showed up and where they were short and like who they want to be. And I was like, I feel like that's really important. But the problem is like sometimes you can skew too far and then like start trying to be like an empty shell that's like being molded by making everyone comfortable. So
right,
it's like you almost have to like, I guess that's like kind of the shadow work, right? Is like you have to be okay with like who you are, realize like you're gonna piss some people off, but also be able to like take feedback so you aren't the Pharrells, you aren't the like even Lizzo. I mean, I still feel like it was like the way she responded to that whole thing, like was like to not take any accountability for it at all. But it's like, yeah, it's like you sure, maybe you didn't do those things and maybe you didn't force them to go to a strip club, but you have to recognize like you're a different person as a boss.
right,
Like if you walk into a room and it's like Beyonce and Mary J. Blige and like a bunch of, people who are established in the industry, and you say, do you want to go to a strip club? And they say yes, it's different than like a bunch of people who
You're
or
are
subordinate.
just now trying to start making it. And they're like, I mean, I feel like that's what, even with the Diddy thing, like that's the nuance. It was like they, I think it was like they heard like, okay, if you have any doubts, and then they were like, we shouldn't feed nuance into this. But it's like if you're being beat, if you're like being chased down, if you have new boyfriends and their cars are being blown up, like I feel like that's a whole case. But then they were like, well, they were just really intensely in love. And so she kept going back and she can't like get luxuries and then complain about the luxuries, about the way she's got the luxuries. So like this is the jurors talking about it even
right,
after they've, you know, let Diddy walk on all these different things, because like anything tied to like Cassie Ventura, they didn't feel like
Was
they felt
valid.
like she deserved it. Yeah. So like then it kind of proves, like those first people that were like, why did she sue him? Why didn't she take this to criminal court? It's like you just saw why.
Yeah.
Because
but also
like
you just proved that if you were in her shoes, that you would do the same thing because you would. That's the reason he gave her the luxuries, right?
yeah.
And that's the reason he would give you the luxuries is because you just said out of your own fucking mouth, I cannot complain because I got something nice. You know what I
And
mean?
then like and then like coupling it with like torpedoing her career, like like putting everything on the back burner, making it so that like even when she had to go to work, she was up all night doing the sex stuff 2 and 3 days in a row, like that's a whole established this pattern. And like the jury like just missed it, like, oh well, they were just in love. Or Capricorn Clark said she was kidnapped. Ugh. I was like, I don't understand like what she was like. It was just too much emotion behind it. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, it is
This man
actually
showed
very
up at
emotional being abused.
yeah.
Sorry.
Like you showed up at my house with a gun, drove me to somebody's house, said you were going to kill him, told another woman that if she doesn't come, you're going to kill me. And then when she shows up, you start to beat her ass. That's traumatic, babe. Like, what do you mean? So yeah, it was just it was just crazy, but it's also like, yeah, I don't know. It's just like I guess we do need to identify like what this term is, because like there's got to be some kind of research on it. But it's like I think those people were starstruck, but then there's also just like, yeah, like the dualities of I don't
Like, dude,
know.
fame can't be that fucking important, and it can't be that impressive. Like, I don't give a fuck if it's P Diddy Like,
But we have to like unpack celebrity culture in general because like really truly think about like when even back in the day, like when we have really big stars like Michael Jackson, and like you just get the videos of people crying so hard that they're passing out. You know what I mean? Or like
yeah,
following people, going to their hotels, being obsessed with them, and it's
the
not
John
even
Lennons. Yeah,
like 80% of those people don't even give a shit. Like they're not even trying to be famous. They just want to touch it. You know what I mean? Like they want to touch fame or have. I've obviously clearly been reading a lot of studies, but I read that or I saw that if you when you read a book, your brain actually can't tell the
put
difference.
you in.
Yeah, like
Oh,
and in it the same mechanism that creates your memories is what's engaged when you're reading. So that's why you feel the emotion in the book. Like when you're reading a horror book, you feel horror. When you're reading a love story, you feel love. You know what I mean? Like that's why you're like sitting and crying at a book. Like the same memory center is engaged. Like you only have so many. So the same memory center is engaged. And
the
you actually
hippocampus.
create the memory of being in that situation. And so
I can
like
see that.
when you listen to music, I think that that same thing happens, or you watch a movie, that same thing's happening. Like you're with this person in this movie and you shared this experience and you want to have that validated, but you don't have the skill to go, okay, my body's being flooded with these endorphins or my body is being flooded with this feeling. And that's for me to unpack. You try and put that on somebody else. You know what I mean?
I mean, but look at the Selenas, the Phil Hartmans, the like. That can't be all that there is. There has to be some level of jealousy associated. There has to
Yeah,
be some
but that's exactly what I'm saying.
control.
Yes. They are having an experience inside of their body, whatever that is, with this person. And then they have convinced themselves that it's real and that they have to remedy. It's instead of self regulating, they're soothing themselves with someone else's body. They're soothing whatever it is that is happening inside of them with someone else's body, birth to and including killing them.
It's just like, I mean, at the, I don't know. There was like a couple of like strings of celebrities being like Ariana Grande, I think. That guy that like really gets wrapped up. I guess he's done it to several celebrities where he's like broken through a barricade and
Yeah.
like tried to tackle the celebrity. But it's like, well, what's the end goal? Or like Billie Eilish does this thing where she runs through the audience and like shakes hands and someone grabbed her and like tried to pull her over. But it was like, what was the goal? It's like, again, it's like not logical because it's like, well, what were you going to do once you got Billy over? Like, what did you think was going to happen?
No, hey,
So, yeah. Hey,
Hey,
girl.
you're here.
I just
Yeah. And
broke
she's
the
like, I'm terrified. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks a lot. But yeah. So it's like, I don't know. It's just, yeah, people are unwell. I don't know how else to put it.
It's terrifying, man.
Yeah, it really is. But we're at the time where we should talk about what we're watching this week and if we are reading anything of interest.
I got caught up
I'll
with
go first.
Dairy.
Yeah, welcome to Dairy.
Mhm.
I'm so
Episode 7. Oh,
Is it
yeah,
tonight?
it's so good. Yeah, it's tonight.
I haven't seen it then.
I had to watch
I
episode
think
6 in like short bursts. I was like, oh, I could only take 2 minutes of this. I gotta go
It's
walk
coming.
around. I gotta
I
do
can
that.
feel it.
Yeah.
They did a
really
great job
you knew
building
it was
this
coming.
story.
Why did you know it was coming? I didn't know that's what was
Because
coming.
we all know the black spot is going to catch fire. Like we all knew that's the penultimate. That's what we were building to this
Okay.
whole season. So
All
here
right.
it is.
All right. Yeah. So I haven't watched 7 yet, but I'm pretty much caught up also.
Okay.
I watched P. Diddy this week, obviously.
Girl, I don't know how you watched
And
that.
I got through one episode and they said that he slapped his mom and called her a bitch, and I was like, yeah, I'm good.
yeah, felt like that was light from the rest of it. But then I was like,
Really?
you know,
Oh my!
And the fucked up thing is that he knew that they were taking the videos, right? Because like my understanding is that
He
he
hired
He
a
was
purchased the
gonna. He was. He
videographer.
was building a propaganda campaign.
yeah, and then he
Yeah.
just didn't pay for it, and so they sold it to 50 Cent, and that's how he got to be the producer.
Bravo to 50. My boy is the ultimate.
Yeah, it's like I
troll.
think that he just thought like, you know, he probably thought he was like covered by some NDAs, which is why he's like probably threatening to sue, you know. Yeah.
But this is
But
what like that's the shit that he, yeah, like I can't
A master
imagine
manipulator.
working for someone and watching them slap their mom. Like, how am I supposed to feel?
yeah, I
about
mean, yeah, like you never get out of that. And especially the first guy was like, you know, he wants his 25% of Bad Boy and he's never going to probably get it or whatever. I don't know. I think that trial case is still pending.
But
But
it's
he's
movie
like,
extreme. There's a naked baby.
I can't see.
I just saw her ass cheek. Oh my God.
Oh.
Well, anyway, this is a good place. Like, let's just mark this so it can get extracted. Cut out.
I don't even know how to tell the editor, like,
Yeah, at 50, at 51, 55, you can't see it.
I'm gonna do a mark here. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Well, cool.
So we'll pick up and talk about Diddy the next time. Let's just call it.
I know. And like talking about Diddy with a naked.
I know. So let's just do the outro.
So yeah, it's been fine. Sweetie. Oh my god. Okay.
Thank God we're not live streaming. We're not
Yeah,
live.
I know. We did talk about that at one point, but that, yeah, obviously doesn't make sense for our current setup. So
It's like somebody's dad walking in. Dad, I can see your balls, man. Like, yeah.
he's like, so what is my house? Like you've never seen him before.
Oh,
like,
God. You used
yeah,
to
but I
live
don't-
there.
I don't want to see it now, buddy. I've been out for a while. Yeah.
Sometimes that's like my biggest. I shouldn't say this, but that's like my biggest thing. Like after like William's mom and like having to change her diapers, I'm like, I don't want to do this.
Not ever again.
Yeah.
No.
That's why
love,
everybody
though.
needs
I'm proud of
long-term
you.
care.
Well, no, I'm
That
saying
is
like
a
for
fact.
our parents.
Oh. Hopefully, I'm well off enough
Yeah,
to hire.
Yeah, I think we just have to get on our grind and be like,
Like that.
So-
extra traumatizing. Like if I have to, I don't want to.
Lift your leg. Hey, pops, hold your sack.
Yeah, like how am I
You
supposed
know-
to talk to you after that?
yeah, or take you seriously. You're like, oh, don't do this. And I'm like, no, you're not the dad anymore.
I'm the captain now.
Look at me. Look at me. Okay.
The roles have reversed. Oh my
I'm
God.
calling the shot now, old man.
Yeah. Oh, do you want to call the police?
Who's gonna wipe your ass, huh?
They're gonna treat you better.
Yeah.
But like,
Okay.
by rights, they did that to us too. Oh, you want to go down to the burial?
Yeah. You want to call the police?
They're not gonna be nice to you.
You want to go live in a foster home?
Yeah, call CPS. See what happens to you.
Yeah, so I might have to like, pull it out. I'm like, oh, you said it so bad.
Oh, I was mean to you.
Oh, poor baby. Anyway, all right. Well, It's
This was all over
it's
the
been great
place.
talking to you.
So
Yeah.
I love you.
I
Love
love you
you.
too. Okay. No, you're still naked. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the It's Fine, Sweetie podcast.